Hey everyone, it's Anastas617, and while preparing for my 19th trip to Las Vegas coming up in the next 10 days now, I thought about some things that I've just never done during any of my trips, which is quite surprising after 18 times there. So I thought I'd make a little video about it. Who knows? Hope it's entertaining, or at least thought-provoking. That being said, this is my second attempt at the video. The first one was an utter failure. I talked to the camera for about 15 minutes straight, and it just gives me so much more respect for some of the people out there that do this all the time. Specifically, I'm going to mention John Rare from Vegas Tips and Tricks. He might be the best I've seen at just talking to the camera and just being so conversational and providing so much information. So you should check out his vlog. He puts out a lot of good information that new travelers especially may find useful, but even us veterans, we pick up things. He's just a fountain of knowledge. That being said, I'm going to get right into the list and start with number 9. That's right, I have never stayed at a Caesars property through 18 trips. That's not a big deal in and of itself, but just a little surprising. You'd think I would have stumbled into a reservation at some point during my time. And it's not anything against Caesars. I mean, I really like a few of their casinos, particularly Planet Hollywood, Paris, Bally's, those three right together. I like that area. I did have 2 separate stays planned at Caesars properties, once at Rio, but I canceled that trip altogether, and once at Bally's, but I got a better offer somewhere else. Since I'm staying at Tuscany for part of my trip, I'm going to be right kind of near Caesars Central, so I'm probably going to do a little more gambling there than usual this trip, so maybe I'll get some good offers, but I definitely think I'm going to stay with them at some point in the future. So number 8 is the Las Vegas monorail. I have never stepped foot on it. No particular reason. I'm not adverse to doing so. In fact, even during the summer trips, you would think it would make sense to travel up and down instead of walking in the heat and all that, but just haven't gotten around to it. I fully expect to change that during this next trip because I know I am going to be going to the Westgate at least one day, and I do have some things I'm thinking of doing on the south end of the strip, so it makes sense to do it. It's not all that expensive. Again, it's just surprising I haven't as of yet, but I think that one's coming off the list very soon. Yeah, so the zip lines, I'm not sure this really falls under the must-do at Vegas category, but I've just never gotten around to doing it. Most of my trips are solo, so I think this is more of a shared experience, and to have someone to smile at and wave at and talk about after. So it's just not really anything that I've ever on my own said, hey, I'm going to go do this and it's going to be awesome and I'm going to get off of the zip line and just go back to being an anonymous person in the crowd. I'm not sure I'll ever take this off the list. I'm much more likely to do this in like a tropical location or something like that than doing it on one of my Vegas trips. I can see the appeal, just not really for me right now. So somewhat related to the whole zip line thing is the high roller. I've never done that. And again, a lot of it has to do with just being a solo traveler. There's no one to share that experience with. You can certainly get views in other parts of Las Vegas. But I think this one I probably will do, whether it's through comped or discounted tickets. I'm sure at one of those trips I'm gonna just go and do it. Probably not this trip, but it is something that, you know, is probably nice. I probably would not do the open bar. Doesn't make sense to me. You know, 30 minutes all you can drink sure, but I might get on my second drink during that time. I'm certainly not going to throw down a half dozen drinks in 30 minutes so that I'm falling on my ass as soon as I get out of the high roller. It just, people talk about it all the time, it just never really made sense to me. I can tell you if I was going to Las Vegas when PJ Slots was there and doing his meetup, I would definitely take part in that. So maybe that's an opportunity in the future, but that one will be coming off at some point. Okay, yeah, so this one is completely out of my control, but I've never had a hand pay from a slot machine, or I've never hit a royal flush from video poker. I'm not complaining. Many people have spent a lot more time at slot machines and a lot more time playing video poker than I have without doing either of these. And, you know, there's a bit of luck involved. I mean, video poker, obviously, you need to play the strategy right to increase your chances, and I try to do that. But you know, this is one I'm definitely hoping gets taken off my list. Hopefully during this next trip, we'll see. So this one is an item that I fully planned on taking care of in 2019. My original travel plans was I was going to take, you know, an 8 or 9 day trip in November, and I was going to cut into it with a couple nights down in Laughlin. I was going to rent a car, drive down, see what that's all about, a little slower paced. But Def Leppard, they kind of screwed that up for me because they announced their residency at Planet Hollywood, and since I missed them, which I regret to this day, I missed them when they did their Hard Rock residency. I said, okay, that's it, I'm going in August. But this is another one I plan to take care of probably next year. But not only, you know, going to Laughlin, but I've never rented a car and left the general main area there. I've never, you know, gone to Green Valley Ranch. I've never gone to, South Point, Red Rocks. I've never gone to the Grand Canyon or Zion National Park or Mount Charleston, or even that old, Old West town that I think just got sold or whatever. But this is something I want to do, break out of my rut a little bit, see some more stuff, maybe take a ride up to Rachel, Nevada, if you still can after they storm it next month, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to branching out. Okay, so these top three here are the ones that are really, like, I can't believe I haven't done these. They're not necessarily things you have to do on your first trip or your second trip, but once you've gone 4 or 5 times and you haven't done them, it's a little shocking, I guess. So number 3 is primarily the Bellagio Fountain Show. It may surprise you, but I've never actually watched the show. I have seen glimpses of it when walking down the strip in front of, you know, Paris and Planet Hollywood or somewhere along that. And I've heard, you know, the music and everything, but I've never actually stopped and watched it or prepared myself and gathered around knowing it's about to start. I'm sure at some point, if I find myself in the area, I'll do it. It's just, you know, I'm not a good appointment person in Las Vegas. You know, I get wrapped up in if I'm having a good session somewhere, or, you know, going from here to there. I don't take advantage of these things, and I really should, you know, break things up a little bit. But in addition to the Bellagio fountains, I'm going to lump in some of the other attractions. I've never seen the Mirage Volcano show. I've never seen whatever that show is they have inside Caesars, as well as shows that no longer exist. I never saw the little thing at Rio in the ceiling. I never saw either of the shows that they had in front of Treasure Island. And, you know, I regret that now. So I should probably see these other things while they're still around. But it is, after 18 trips, it's almost sad that I haven't. And these are free shows, so it's not even like it would cost me money. But they'll get rectified. Maybe this next trip, we'll see. So number 2 on my list is the Neon Boneyard. I have never gone. And this one is surprising, particularly to me. I'm not sure if it would be surprising to you, but I've always wanted to go. I've just never, you know, scheduled the time or decided to just go and do it. The more surprising to me is because I really love that whole old Vegas atmosphere of the neon lights and the signs, and you know, a lot of them are cheesy or kitschy, but I just really like that. And you know, I'm not a big fan of the trend towards everything becoming a luxury building, or you know, some beautiful resort that has no real identity. I mean, what's the identity of Cosmopolitan? You know, I like it. It's a nice casino. I don't have an issue with it. But even, you know, with that and with the Wynn and you know, I just like a little more character rather than just opulence. Even Aria. I mean, Aria kind of is an exception to me because I just look at it and think that it's just like the coolest looking building. But I really do wish we could, you know, turn back time, go back in the other direction towards, you know, some of the goofy lights and theming and, you know, just give fun, you know. You know, I like cheesy fun. Everything doesn't have to it be luxury. And I'm not going to ramble on about that, even though I probably already have, but I do. I need to go to the Neon Boneyard and just appreciate some of that stuff that's no longer around. And in the number 1 spot is definitely the one that is most surprising to me and probably most surprising to you when you find out I've been to Las Vegas 18 times and I have not once gone to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. I don't really have a good reason other than I don't want to go and stand in crowds and awkwardly try to get a selfie in front of the sign. Even though this is Las Vegas, I'm sure they probably have people that stand there all day waiting for tips to take pictures for people. I don't know if anyone can confirm that. So I don't know why. I really need to do it. I mean, everyone's got their picture in front of the sign, and I really kind of wish I did too. So there's really no excuse that I haven't done it. But I don't know. You know, is there anything that you guys have never done that surprises you or that you wish you had done and now no longer have the opportunity to? I thought it was really interesting when I started thinking about what I haven't done, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of things. I really do get myself into kind of a predictable pattern or a rut, if you will. I don't want to say rut because rut has kind of the connotation of boring, and I'm never bored when I go there. But I do need to change some things up. Again, part of the reason I started doing this is to kind of give myself a little kick in the butt to do a little more, experience a little more, do things a little differently. So again, I appreciate you guys watching this. Any tips appreciated, comments, likes, subscribe, and any feedback, I really appreciate it. You know, I don't intend to be a vlogger that just sits and talks to the camera. It's not, as you can see, it's not really my forte. I did improve the lighting, I think, a little bit. I got a light here, so not so much in the dark, although maybe you want my face in the dark, who knows. But again, I'll probably have one more video that I can squeeze in before I take my trip on August 20th. And that'll just kind of be a prelude, some of my thoughts on what I'm going to do. Got my stack of American Casino Guide coupons ready and just trying to kind of sketch my plan out, which will probably get tossed out the window about 2 hours after I arrive. But again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.